I think 2012 broke me. There was a time I actually looked forward to new female characters. And 2012 offered me not one, but two new female protagonists. I was ready for female characters to be smarter, funnier, more fun, and most of all, more interesting with better development. I was a fool. Which is not to say there haven't been improvements. And I still look forward to female characters, just in a different way.
Don't do anything stupid.
But see, I expect cheat sheet character development from Pixar. But the guys that gave us Avatar: The Last Airbender? The show that set new standards for standards we didn't even know needed to be reset? They gave us Korra.
What makes you so sure your daughter is the one?
I'm the Avatar! You gotta deal with it!
Thank you for that. You know, I swear these guys just must panic. Writing a female character? Okay, that's just compensating for the fact that they're girls, right? You know, if this was any other show, and not a sequel to one of the greatest animated anythings of all time, I wouldn't jump on this so quickly. But you're telling me what took Aang 52 episodes of trials and tribulations to master, Korra has at age 3. She has more bending than most avatars do before they're 30! Why on earth would you think this is an interesting way to start your character? Why? There's no struggle or learning or personal growth in this. Nobody likes gifted children. Unless they're their own. 5 seconds in, you've already crapped all over your own universe. Is bending an extension of martial arts that can only be honed by extensive mental and physical discipline in order to strengthen the psyche through a connection to the elements? Or is it magic people are born with? We at least get to see her develop these abilities. Nope.
She's strong.
Yes, thank you!
She lacks restraint.
No kidding. I'm sorry, does fire not burn people anymore? How do these guys still have faces?
Woohoo! We should be celebrating. 3 elements down, 1 to go.
Then what the hell was this?
You gotta deal
Why did we need to know that she had all these abilities as a toddler if we were just going to learn it in the next scene anyway? What's the point? I mean, what? That Korra mastered 3 elements under professional tutelage is too much of a stretch? She needed a little help from God to make it more believable? She kind of learned all that by the time she was 16. That takes hard work and competence. She must have been born gifted. That's the only explanation. Yeah.
We haven't decided if you passed your firebending test yet.
Ever since you were a little girl, you've excelled at the physical side of bending, but completely ignored the spiritual side.
She's ignored it? How could she ignore it if it's part of her training? What, suddenly the spiritual side is optional? Korra, go home and do 50 sit-ups. Oh, and, meditate if you feel like it.
Do you believe she's ready, Master Katara?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how Katara likes her firebending. Callous, egotistical, and as aggressive as humanly possible. Wait. And I get that this is all a showcase of her badassness and her personality, but honestly, all I can think is that these guys suck at their jobs. I mean, what, are they all secretly impressed at how much ass she can kick? Are you training her to be a weapon, or an harbinger of peace in the world?
But completely ignored the spiritual side. The Avatar must master both.
Fail her till she gets it right!
I kicked some firebender butt, and I passed!
Oh my god, they passed her. So the world is doomed.
Just taking Naga out for a stroll. Don't worry, we're not going far.
And she's locked away? Ugh! She's almost a fully realized avatar and she's been confined to the South Pole her whole life? There had better be a plague everywhere else, because...
Your airbending training is going to have to wait.
I'll go back to Republic City with you.
Avatar Aang tasked us with keeping you safe.
Aang? This was Aang's idea. After he roamed the earth with a group of his young friends, he decided that the next Avatar should be locked away for their training. That's bullshit. That is, as we've seen in the flashbacks in the last series, never been the way it's worked. How the hell is she gonna represent other cultures and other people that she's never seen? How did she even learn earthbending on a continent made of ice? This makes no sense. This is past not making sense. This is just ass. We've locked her away against all reason. Because she's a girl. Because the White Lotus are now apparently complete idiots.
How long until you're ready to teach me airbending? A week? A month?
At least the fact that she's been sheltered and been given special attention her whole life is reflected in her personality.
Believe me, I'd be happy to find another airbending master, but you're the only one. Whatever.
I mean, her ego and impatience are actually really intriguing. I want to like her. She's just buried beneath all of these shit tropes and cliches. My god! So Korra, too stubborn and restless to take no for an answer, stows away and escapes to Republic City herself. What the hell was...
Sorry, were you in town?
What the hell are you doing? Korra, go back! Say sorry, make sure they're not dead! Is that really how you want to start your first day as Avatar? Trampling people?
I don't have any money.
Then what good are you to me?
See, stores in the South Pole just give away all their food for free. You know, pulling the fish out of water thing is one thing, but common sense is not optional.
That'll be 20 yuan.
Wait.
You'd better be able to pay for that.
Pay?
So, she was born special and gifted. She's been locked away from the world her whole life, with umpteen father figures to boss her around, and is now a fish out of water, gallivanting through society without a clue. I am watching Avatar, right? Cause that's a Disney princess. Okay, we're getting to the good part. Because what she does run into is a whole mess of political strife.
This park is quite popular with all the vagabonds.
She learns Republic City has an abundance of homeless people.
Took me a while to procure a bush that beauteous.
Very, very happy homeless people. But most of all, she lands smack dab in the midst of a political rift between benders and non-benders.
Bending elite of this city have forced non-benders to live as lower-class citizens!
Bending is the coolest thing in the world.
Bet you just love to knock me off this platform with some water bending.
I'm seriously thinking about it.
Korra is coming into a political role she knows nothing about.
I'm not oppressing anyone. You're oppressing yourself.
That's brilliant! Highlighting her ignorance is relevant, it's relatable, it's an excellent and original character flaw that gives her leagues of room to grow into her role. It's just so fantastic!
You should get moving, young lady. It isn't safe.
So next she comes across a shop owner being attacked by benders.
Give me the money, or else...
Or else what, hoodlum?
Korra, look! Benders! Oppressing non-benders!
Who do you think you are?
Why don't you come and find out?
Now you can... Okay, but first, don't you think we should... I don't know, maybe you want to take a step back and assess... Can you stop? Like, they might as well have held up a big sign that says, character development, in front of her face. And she goes, is there something I can smash?
You're oppressing yourself!
So not only did you ignore the introspection, you basically kicked it while it was down. And now, you're smashing shit up again. So, explain to me, please, why we would follow this scene with this scene if they were going to have nothing to do with each other.
Got an idea about who I am now, chumps?
I mean, that's great she's got this huge overinflated ego, but she can't be this clueless. I mean, you're the Avatar, you couldn't come up with a more creative way of stopping a car than tearing up the entire street?
You're under arrest, too.
They were smashing up a shop.
From the looks of it, you smashed up a lot more than that.
Oh, thank God.
You're in a whole mess of trouble, young lady.
You can't just waltz in here and dole out vigilante justice like you own the place.
I don't know who you are, but I love you. No, that is so perfect. Korra freaking needs there to finally be some consequences to her actions, because she sure never learns any from these idiots.
If you would be so kind as to drop the charges against Korra, I will take full responsibility and cover all the damages.
Okay. On one hand, I like that the show holds her accountable for her actions.
Fine.
Let's go, Korra.
On the other hand, the show's not holding her accountable for her actions. Covering the damages is not teaching her anything.
I saw a lot of the city today.
You know, right before I destroyed bits of it.
And it's totally out of whack. Being cooped up and hidden away from the world isn't helping me become a better avatar.
Am I assuming that this is what the episode was building up towards?
Republic City does need you, but it needs me too.
Because I don't know if tearing up the city, causing traffic accidents, and blatantly disregarding the safety of people around her was the best way to convince us that she has some deep, heartfelt calling to serve the city and those people. Like, she wasn't sorry. Oh gosh, I hope no one died. Bye! I mean, she didn't rethink her stance on the non-Bender oppression thing after she actually witnessed Benders oppressing non-Benders. And then she not only gets off scot-free.
You may stay and train airbending here with me.
Yes! Thank you!
But she's rewarded by getting exactly what she wants while spouting a bunch of empty lip service about how she wants to serve the people.
Avatar Aang meant for this city to be the center of peace and balance in the world. And I believe we can make his dream a reality. You're oppressing yourself! I look forward to serving you.
No, not convinced. Bad arc, flimsy resolution, not a good start. Episode 2 deals with Korra's difficulty with the patience required for airbending.
Often the element that's the most difficult for the Avatar to master is the one most opposite to the Avatar's personality.
Oh, don't taunt me. Really? We're actually gonna have Korra grow into a new mindset using bending and spirituality? I don't believe you.
The key is to be like the leaf.
Legend of Korra? Do you understand the difference between a character struggling and a character just skipping to the part where they fail?
Dance like the wind!
You understand those are different things, right?
What is wrong with me?
Why on earth would we sympathize with her failing when she didn't listen, didn't bother to try and imitate Jinora or the Leaf? Why would we assume she's anything other than a hard-headed idiot? Can we go back for a sec?
I'm about as opposite an airbender as you can get.
Okay, that's not a bad concept. I get what you're going for, but damn it, this is frustrating to watch. I feel like this show is leaning way too heavily on the impulsive hothead trait, using it as more of an excuse as to why she fails instead of giving us any psychological context for it.
None of this airbending stuff makes any sense to me.
But these teachings will sink in over time.
Yeah, it's not sinking in yet.
For God's sake. Why would we root for a character who has never struggled, doesn't think she has to try or care, and thinks everything should come easy to her?
For air is the element of freedom.
You're telling me to embrace freedom, but you won't even let me listen to the radio?
Yeah, air nomad culture practices be damned. I'm gonna redefine freedom as to how it serves me. Actually, not everything's about you. So then she sneaks off to watch pro bending against Tenzin's wishes.
That was great! Good power! But not so upright and flat-footed. Stay light on your toes.
Let me try it again.
Nice adjustment!
I knew I could learn stuff. Just has to be easy.
You're a natural at this.
Ignoring that.
Patience, Korra!
And once again, her hot-headedness is illustrated by using flagrant unapologetic destruction of other people's property.
That was a 2,000-year-old historical treasure. What is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me! You're a terrible teacher!
You know what? I changed my mind. Lock her up. That was a good call. And adding to the theme of Korra serendipitously landing amazing power and opportunity without ever having to work for it, she lands a spot on a pro-bending team. Just like that. met these like pro bender guys and they were like showing me some moves, but like then their teammate didn't show up and they're like, oh my god, we're gonna lose. And I was like, don't worry, I can fill in. And then I like kind of slipped and revealed that I'm the avatar to the entire city. That was so embarrassing. I couldn't even stand it. Kind of sounds like a fanfic I wrote when I was 10.
This is what I need to learn. Modern styles of fighting.
Being the Avatar isn't all about fighting, Korra. When will you learn that?
That's what I want to know. So Korra gets the hang of the airbender footwork just in time to win the game and send them to the finals. Yay, more pro bending.
But I can't take all the credit. Someone else taught me those moves.
So basically, she's going to learn airbending her way.
Pro bending turned out to be the perfect teaching tool for you.
Which kind of defeats the purpose.
Often the element that's the most difficult for the Avatar to master is the one most opposite to the Avatar's personality.
So instead of being open-minded and embracing the culture, the discipline, and the spirituality of the air nomads, she's rewarded by remaining obstinate, shirking her responsibilities, not trying, blowing shit up, and running her mouth off again. Episode 3 starts out hot with...
I got nothing. I've never really needed money. I've always had people taking care of me.
Needs something. Maybe a pinch of humility in the face of your friends who are poor.
Ever since we lost our parents, we've been on our own.
And orphans. Of course you are. This episode deals further with the political tension raised in episode 1 between benders and non-benders.
Amon calls you to action! Take back your city!
It's an especially juicy conflict for Korra.
You cannot silence me, Avatar!
For obvious reasons, but also because she's never had to relate to anyone less fortunate than herself, and thinks she can just use bending, see also rampant violence, to solve the world's problems. So it'll be really cool watching her come to accept a more mature and diplomatic understanding of bending.
Your firebending is gone. Forever.
Or if we wanted to avoid interesting conflicts altogether, we could just jump straight to making non-benders evil extremists! Ah! Why? Why would you trash such an amazing conflict for her? Something that complements and plays off her selfish, impulsive hot-headedness to a T. And you could have made some really slick social commentary while you were at it, if, you wanted to mimic the quality of the original series in any way.
The Avatar has failed humanity.
Ooh, now it's personal. Korra, make a grr face. Atta girl.
We need to be smart about this.
Then come up with a game plan, team captain.
This is not a pro-bending match, you fathead! This is real life. You are in real danger. You're the Avatar. You're the team captain. You come up with a plan!
You benders need to understand, there's no place for you anymore.
I wouldn't count us out just yet.
Incredible. They've actually taken the benders from being the oppressors to the oppressed.
The Avatar's oppressing us! Help!
She went from being the privileged figure of influence who needs to learn humility, empathy, and diplomacy to being the underdog with a big bad guy to go after. You went from relevant and original to every other kid's show ever! Congratulations! Oh my god, in that line.
I wouldn't count us out just yet.
You can't keep us down, man!
But this means the revolution is more dangerous than ever. No bender is safe.
Korra and them just fought their way to safety. Using bending. Are we really victimizing the population with magical superpowers? What about Mako and Bolin's parents?
They were mugged by a firebender. He cut them down right in front of me.
What about non-benders? These are still two separate issues, right? Oppression on one hand, terrorist extremism on the other. Right? Korra? So apparently Korra was actually quite scarred from Amon's rally.
After I take your bending away, you will be nothing.
They spent a good 15 minutes of episode 4 dealing with how shaken she is. She's not herself, she's closed off to the things she usually enjoys.
It's okay to be scared.
It's actually pretty cool. And we're introduced to a shifty councilman named Tarlok.
We need to create a task force.
This is just another one of your ploys to gain more power, isn't it?
Subtle.
I thought you'd jump at the chance to help me lead the charge against Amon.
I can't.
But Korra resists out of fear. Not because it's a bad idea. Because that requires thinking.
A move that aggressive would only further divide benders and non-benders.
Korra doesn't do that. That's Tenzin's job. Tarlok basically guilts her into joining his task force by using the press, and it's kind of neat watching Korra struggle with the helplessness of being manipulated from both sides.
Shouldn't you be going after Amon?
Well...
Oh, are we feeling powerless? Like bending can't solve the world's problems? Huh, now you know how non-benders feel. Maybe.
Why are you backing away from this fight?
What? No.
Just a little bit. Please?
I'm not afraid of anybody! I'll join Tarlok's task force and help fight Amon.
Anyway, after one successful raid, she gets her moxie back and...
Amon, I challenge you to a duel.
That's our Korra.
No task force, no chi blockers, just the two of us.
Besides the fact that this plan is stupendously idiotic, it took nothing for her to crank herself out of that funk. What the hell did I just say?
If you're man enough to face me.
And there she goes again. I was just starting to empathize with her. She was finally struggling with something, she had issues to sort out, and now we dive head on into rash, headstrong decisions we know cannot possibly end well. Let's watch Korra fail!
Although it would be the simplest thing for me to take away your bending right now, I won't.
Oh, rape imagery.
Korra, did he take your bending away?
Yes, that is what we needed. Well done. Alone at night to be ambushed, bound and dragged into a back alley, outnumbered by the dozens and threatened to you may think I'm overreacting. This sequence of events was chosen for a reason. Okay, Amon's other victims were allowed a fair fight even, but Korra isn't defeated in anything resembling a fair fight. She's neutralized and psychologically tortured in the most undignified manner they could get away with. They don't give a shit about Korra's dignity. That wouldn't happen with a male character. Even Aang taking down the Fire Lord was more like a spiritual cleansing ritual. There was still plenty of dignity left there for him, as opposed to Azula. Really? Now, having said that, I'm not against rape recovery analogies, but maybe if there were female creators on this show, I would feel a bit differently about it, but this feels to me like creators sit down to approach a conflict for a female character, and the first thing they ask themselves is, what's the worst thing that can possibly happen to her? And rape is what they come up with.
Did he take your bending away?
Or the closest thing to it that they can get away with. And I just hate the idea of rape analogies becoming a staple of female character writing. The habit of looking for what female characters have that is important to them, that they self-identify with, that we can then forcibly take away from them simply to evoke a cheap reaction. It just feels like playing to the audience's subconscious that, yes, she is a girl. Ooh, I hope nothing rapey or sexual befalls her. Now, I can only imagine how Korra's gonna try and recover from this. She must be feeling...
It's been great having you at so many back-to-back practices, Korra.
Feels good to be back.
What?
I'm gonna ask Korra out.
How's it going with the tall, dreamy firebender boy? You've been spending a lot of time together lately.
No.
Besides, he's all into that prissy, beautiful, elegant, rich girl.
What about we just... Oh, I'm sorry, were you interested in Korra's psychological trauma and anxiety? Well, now it's a slumber party. Who's for a pillow fight?
I don't know. Asami and I are...
Look, I really like you, and I think we were meant for each other.
I'm really trying to ignore this. I mean, I saw the signs, but I was really hoping we were better than this. Evidently not. We've got a love triangle. Okay, guys? Step by step, this is how I want you to handle this. Step 1. Put the fanfics down. Put it down, all the way down. Yes, no, don't touch it. Stand back. Okay, good. Step 2. Get a match. And I actually really dig these two, because, I mean, animated romance, quite frankly, sucks. But these two have fun together. They get along really well. They seem compatible, like a reasonably healthy relationship. So naturally, that's not gonna happen.
I don't want to see his heart get broken.
You're jealous.
Korra, have you ingested any turds recently?
I'm with Asami.
Yeah, but when you're with her, you're thinking about me, aren't you?
Any kind of turd? You may not have known it was a turd.
As much as you drive me crazy, I also think you're pretty amazing. I don't know, things are complicated. I've been feeling really confused and
Oh, very good. Pouncing.
Yeah, if he's dating someone else, that is definitely your cue to jump in for the face pounce. Not that this isn't carrying on a proud Avatar tradition. These need to stop. Anyway, it adds a sprinkle of desperate tension to the already pro-bending subplot, but they all come out fine in the end. Korra learns nothing.
We never would have made it this far without you.
But it never really feels like her face-pouncing antics are properly reflected upon. It's okay, Korra. It's not like that wasn't obnoxiously selfish and short-sighted. Please continue doing whatever the hell you want to the expense of everyone around you. Just next. Anything but this. So episode 6 is the pro-bending finals. But Amon threatens to attack the stadium. So Korra, who's always thinking about public safety...
If you close the arena, you let Amon win!
Oh wait, she's not. So they continue with the game anyway. Amon attacks. Korra doesn't feel guilty about that at all. I don't know how many people died. Then Korra fights him... What do you mean? Korra fights him? What? What happened to Korra's fear of... You know what? Whatever. It's gone now. She's fine! You know, I don't think I'm out of line by saying that this should have been a series-altering event. Korra should never have been the same, but fine! Episode 7 finds Korra making friends with Asami, who is...
I had you pegged wrong. I thought you were kind of prissy.
People usually assume that I'm Daddy's helpless little girl, but I can handle myself.
Did everyone catch that? She's a strong female character!
I mean, I've been in self-defense classes since I was this high.
Has everyone got it now? Yes, please keep enforcing the idea that having masculine hobbies and being able to beat people up is the only kind of agency that counts!
I can handle myself.
You know what I can't handle? That we're still using that line! And you! Anyway, Korra finds reason to suspect Asami's father, Hiroshi Sato, of helping the Equalists. But no one believes her, so she sets out to prove that she's right. And it turns out she is right. The end.
Hiroshi, I knew you were a lying, no-good Equalist!
If Korra's going to be right, where's the conflict? Mr. Sato just gave her 2 homeless orphan teammates new living accommodation. Maybe she wants to think twice about ruining that for them? I guess her new friendship with Asami didn't mean anything, because she did not hesitate to bring down the police on her father that'll eventually lead to her family being torn apart.
A firebender killed Sato's wife.
Again?
Are you that jealous of me and Asami?
Woe is me, my friends think I'm being petty and obsessive. If only they knew I was a warrior of justice.
If you don't drop this, consider our friendship over.
Oh my god, I think we found some stakes!
I'm sorry. Hiroshi is not the man you think he is.
No, totally empty. Never mind. Oh no, not her friendship with Mako. That's the best you can come up with. It's not like the risk of losing her friends ever caused Korra to take a step back and wonder if she's doing the right thing. Episode 8 finds Korra butting heads with Tarlok again.
I'm the Avatar.
You are merely a half-baked Avatar in training. How is your airbending going?
Ooh, good one. Yeah, well, you can't airbend, so... Yeah. Really, Korra? Is all of her backbone phony? I'm sorry. How is airbending going to contribute to a terrorist threat and a civil uprising any more than the bending you already have?
How am I supposed to save the city when I can't even learn airbending?
Bad conflict. I mean, air nomad teachings? Maybe. Airbending itself? No. Quite frankly, she has enough hot air of her own.
I'm a failure.
You can't just be a failure for the sake of it. You needed to show us what Korra is missing that airbending will fulfill. How will it make her a better avatar? How will it make her a more complete person? As it is, I'm not convinced this show didn't forget about airbending until just now. Missing one. What's the one you can't use to smash things? Air, right. We don't really need it, do we?
Have you ever made contact with your past lives?
No, I'm a spiritual failure too.
Apparently, Korra's inability to airbend is really frustrating to her.
I'm the worst avatar ever.
No, that's nonsense. You're amazing.
This series spends a lot of time telling Korra how amazing she is, which is just really flimsy support. Tenzin is the only one who gives any thought to his advice to her.
You are about to be patrolled by Team Avatar. The new Team Avatar! I like the new Team Avatar.
Shh! Stop saying that! You guys are going up against chi blockers who can take away your bending? Like you didn't think to wear armor? Mako can lightning... Ha! You just made that up! This is...
The law I have proposed would make it illegal for anyone to be a member of the Equalists.
Sorry, plot, right.
Ensuring all non-benders are in their own homes by nightfall.
So Councilman Tarlock is taking extreme action against Amon by abolishing the rights of all non-benders, giving them a curfew, turning off their power for what he thinks is a dangerous rally, and pretty much throwing whoever the hell he wants in jail, including Mako, Bolin, and Asami. Oh no, whatever will we do without them? You notice how Korra kind of sits out of a lot of the fighting in this episode so far? To try and make us think the other three are good for anything? We're contributing! Please miss us when we're gone! However, Korra is helpless to do anything about it. She's conflicted because she wants to beat people up, but she has to uphold the law. That's really it. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. I'm not going to try and pretend and make it seem like it's anything other than that anymore. That's what it is. Korra wants to beat people up, but she can't. And then she does anyway. The end. But her frustration with extreme anti-terrorism policies is at least interesting. And kind of relevant, I guess. That was a compliment, and it really hurt. But please take it!
You're using your power to oppress and intimidate people.
And you don't? Isn't that what you came here to do? Intimidate me into releasing your friends?
He's right. But unfortunately, whereas I'd like the revelation to be addressed in an environment Korra can actually learn from, right now Tarlock is a villain, and Korra is fighting for people unjustly thrown in jail. So, that's not gonna happen, is it?
You fall in line and do what I say.
That's why you arrested them? You're just as bad as Amon.
It's completely typical. I mean, I don't know what I'm thinking. This is the Legend of Korra. Introspection!
Did you say vacuous angst?
No! Korra, he's standing in front of a waterfall! You should have already won!
Still think I'm a half-baked avatar?
Are we supposed to be cheering? You're not being any avatar! Between the sepia Gotham City, the vigilante crime fighting, and this show's obsession with Korra's bending above all else, she's essentially a comic book superhero. There's no Asian philosophy left in any of this.
Being the Avatar isn't all about fighting, Korra. When will you learn that?
And we're still waiting. I don't think it's gonna happen. They forgot about that line. In light of everything he's done, everything you should be focusing on, you're still holding on to that petty insult he threw at you? How is beating the shit out of a council member going to help your case? Now, it's a good lesson. If you don't agree with someone's policies, raid their office and beat them up. They love that.
You're a bloodbender? Where are you taking me?
Really? You are not tying her up and hauling her away in a truck. You are. Can you guys really not think of any less humiliating, any more pedestrian methods of endangering Korra than this? Or are you doing this on purpose?
Still think I'm a half-baked avatar?
She should be able to get out of a truck! It's got a radiator, it's got water in it, think of something! Funny how a superhuman girl still suffers the same indignities as real-life non-superhuman girls. Curious, that. You know, we're only 9 episodes in. Aang did not spend this much time being vulnerable, bound, and helpless in the entire series. Like, is this Korra's theme now? She's the single most powerful human being on the planet, yet spends the majority of the time helpless, clueless, and frustrated? So then Korra is locked away in a box that she cannot bend. Possibly we've seen this before.
Help! Please!
Yeah, you must be working up quite a sweat in there.
Please!
Too bad you don't have any water to bend. But you were just thrown in there by blood bending. Did that not give you any clues? Use your spit! Use your sweat!
Squeeze the jelly from your eyes!
How does she not know that Katara broke out of prison using only her armpit juice? How does she not know this?
I'm making my own water.
That's how it's done, you useless turd!
Katara, you're a genius!
Help!
Your avatar, everyone!
You're under arrest, Yakone.
We know what you are.
Whoa. I finally connected with you, Aang.
No. No, you didn't. You connected with a clumsy flashback that is clearly intended to service the plot. That, or Aang doesn't really care about your current predicament.
A way out of this box would be nice.
A way to use your brain would be nice. If she's struggling with her spiritual side, then she should not be able to see and hear crystal clear images from the past. That's just a really lazy plot device that is contributing nothing to Korra's character.
No. No, she can't be gone.
We have an avatar to rescue.
Curious, the second Korra is kidnapped, the rest of the plot just stops. There is nothing more pressing than finding Korra and having the supporting characters tell us how worried they are about her.
Let's try this way.
And what if Korra's not down there?
Then we pick another tunnel until we find her.
What exactly were you thinking he was going to say? Oh, if she's not in the next tunnel, then I guess we go for pancakes.
Do you think he likes Korra as more than just a friend?
This is what we're doing? No!
When Mako and Korra kiss, but...
They kissed?
Guys, fanfics down.
I don't think it meant anything.
I doubt that.
Oh my god, and then I got kidnapped. And the popular girl was so jealous because her boyfriend was all worried about me because he's secretly in love with me, and I was like, I totally knew it.
And I know how you bloodbent me without a full moon. You're Yakone's son.
The plot told me.
Amon! Electrocute the box to knock her out before you open it.
Oh my god, creative problem solving. Well, it's about time!
Tie her up.
I thought I told you not to underestimate her.
Haven't you heard how amazing she is? Regardless, that was pretty awesome. She should have been fully capable of getting herself out of there, and she did. Damn it, Korra! I mean, what? For every capable thing she does, she has to have a moment of helplessness? So basically, to sum up these past few episodes, aw, poor Korra. I mean, how did she finally manage to connect to her spiritual side?
I urge you to meditate on these visions.
Because she had nothing better to do? Sit down, assume position. Well, that was easy. She's not even allowed to escape until the plot says it's okay. And this entire affair of abducting her and locking her away was all just to service the Tarlock plot. Korra didn't gain the ability to tap into her latent spiritual powers. She gained the ability to be used as a plot device. Moping and physical obstacles do not constitute character growth. You can tell us how beloved by all she is all you like. She hasn't done anything. We never even got all the non-benders out of jail. Priorities, guys! Well, those people can't remind us how amazing Korra is. Why would we need them?
Korra! Thank goodness.
How did you get away?
Give her some space.
Let me pass, you fiends! Beloved!
I was so worried.
Oh, dearest, let this be the third conversation we've ever had. Nobody cares about Mako!
You're safe now.
At least I don't. Tenzin has the only meaningful relationship with Korra here. The rest of you are bums. We started this episode off with his advice and his Does this series know how to do anything other than victimize Korra and generate interest in her by how she makes boys swoon and girls jealous? What are we, 8? Is that the only reason Asami is here? To be the popular pretty rich girl with a hot boyfriend that Korra steals away, not by doing anything, just by virtue of being in danger a lot and because she's so special? These two don't have a relationship or chemistry. These 3 contribute nothing to this series. They are honestly only here to be Korra's cheering section and fawn and pine and compete over her. And it's gross. Supplementing genuine growth and appeal with endangerment and flattery is nasty. Don't do that. I think what hurts even more is that these creators gave us Avatar. And yet for Korra, they only seem to know how to find not so new and exciting ways of objectifying her. Episode 10.
Korra, hide for the time being.
I'm not giving up. What you're saying is, we need to be patient.
You're learning well.
If you say so. The show never formally addressed it, but yes, I suppose Korra eventually giving into patience after 10 episodes is something. It's not much, but it's something. So next episode, the city's still under siege and everyone's still hiding.
I'm not running from anyone. Let's go back up there and knock some heads. They'll never know what hit them.
Let's go blow our cover, that'll teach them! Korra, be strong-headed, fine, but don't be stupid!
I hate this being patient stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Has Korra learned anything? Like, anything? Name one thing. I can't think of one thing!
A few months ago, I was in the South Pole practicing for my firebending test. And now I'm in the middle of an all-out war.
Wow, so much plot has happened to me. You'd think I'd have learned something.
You're the most loyal, brave, and selfless person I've ever known.
I think you're pretty incredible too, but you already knew that.
The way you commit yourself to a girl and start ignoring her on a whim to lead on another without considering anyone's feelings but your own is just so hot. I'm sorry, at what point does Korra start to wonder how this all fits in with Asami and Mako? She knew they were a thing. Plus, poor Asami. Her mother is dead, she just lost her father, her home, and her boyfriend to her supposed new friend. You guys are dicks! But I guess if you both insist on being myopic asswipes, at least you found each other. So Korra and Mako end up finding Tarlok jailed in an attic and find out that Amon is actually his brother. He tells them the story of their childhood and how they were raised to be bloodbenders. And, well, it's got nothing to do with Korra, but I thought I'd mention it because it's easily the most interesting thing in the series so far.
Bloodbend your brother, Tarlok.
I don't want to do that to anyone.
Look, everyone. Conflict. Savor it. It's already gone.
If we expose him as a bender in front of all his supporters...
At the rally.
Yeah, well, that doesn't work.
Amon is a waterbender.
I can't imagine why, but she does free the airbenders. Good job, Korra. Before being cornered by Amon in a dark, creepy warehouse where she cowers under a table. What, dragging her helpless and bound into an alleyway was too... Oh, we've already done that! And she has her bending taken away. Oh no. This makes me happy, actually. Because now she really can't solve anything with bending. Now she has to use her head. It's not gonna happen, is it? As for you two, I'm sorry. You went into this knowing you were up against a bloodbender. Did it not occur to you that the only way to beat a bloodbender is with bloodbending? Katara figured that out! Do you think Tarlok would have given them a few pointers? Yep, my brother's a bloodbender who's impervious to even my bloodbending. But they should be okay as long as there's a table nearby. Let's bet everything on thousands of brainwashed people turning on their beloved leader in an instant based on our word alone. And that didn't work? Really? Mako can do something. Korra can hide under a table, and Mako finds a way to lightning bend while he's being blood bent. That should be impossible. Although,
Any attack we throw at him, he'll redirect with his mind.
it can't hurt me if I don't know how it works. And Korra's helpless and weak again. Assume the position.
It is almost a shame to take the bending of someone so talented.
Maybe if we flatter him some more, it'll make up for how useless he is. It won't. What?
I can airbend?
Let me try and remain calm.
I can airbend!
Huh? And not only that, she can airbend through the bloodbending, as that only seems to happen at the plot's convenience. I can manipulate every sinew of your body with my mind. Unless it's windy. So let me get this straight. All of her frustration, all of her training to develop her airbending was all pointless, because it was never ever something she could actually struggle through and actually earn. It had to be bestowed upon her by the plot gods. Why? What is the point of that? Just like the intro, why did we need to know that Korra was born with 3 elements when you were gonna skip ahead to the part where she'd already learned 3 elements properly? Pick one. Is she born gifted or did she learn them? This is the more meaningful thing. The first series built bending and spirituality flawlessly into its character development.
Even the separation of the 4 elements is an illusion.
Nope. In this series, bending is something you're born with, or something that is unlocked at the convenience of desperate climactic tension. Yup. What a complete load. I have no words. No words for this.
I can't believe Amon got you too.
Oh god. Anyway, let's get on with... What time is it? I think Korra's feeling sorry for herself again. Oh, no, we've got the whole village in on this pity party. You'd think they'd be used to this by now. Like, guys, bring snacks. You're gonna be here a while.
I cannot restore Korra's bending.
She can still airbend.
Hey, at least you unlocked your airbending.
Like it counts for nothing. What was the point of keeping airbending locked away if when she gets it, it doesn't mean anything?
But her connection to the other elements has been severed.
It's almost like it was pointless.
It's going to be all right, Korra.
No, it's not.
Korra, you're an ungrateful turd. Hundreds of people lost the only bending they have. She's lucky enough to still have 1 element and she's gonna go mope. Fine. Go mope! Let's all watch her mope, because we haven't done enough of that.
Go away.
I'm here for you. I love you, Korra.
I'm sorry, it's just, I had moping scheduled for right now, and so I have to go do that. I'm sorry.
I'm not the Avatar anymore.
Oh, Korra, you're still an idiot to me. I said Avatar, right? I was really hoping that she would learn that being the Avatar is more than about having magical superpowers. I mean, I want to feel Korra's loss. But why? She only cares about herself! We've already gone through 3 of Korra's pity parties. She didn't learn that being the Avatar means serving people unless it directly involves serving her own ego. And she never learned diplomacy or peacekeeping or patience or empathy or humility or even anything. She actually has very little agency. This is a story that happens to Korra. It should be called The Tragedy of Korra because it is in no way reflective of her input. I guess technically she beat Amon, but between his bloodbending and her terrible, terrible strategizing, she really shouldn't have been able to. It probably honestly should have been Tarlok. Her victory could easily be chalked up to nothing but a deus ex machina that required 0 character development to accomplish. I don't want to stop talking. It means I have to watch Korra mope. No!
Not now, Tenzin.
But you called me here.
Oh. Hi, Aang.
You have finally connected with your spiritual self.
He has to tell her!
How?
Because she doesn't know. Unbelievable. Actually, more like he had to tell us. Because we wouldn't know. Which, I mean, like, I kind of thought she was there already. But thank you for clarifying that this series has no idea what it's doing.
When we hit our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change.
I smell much bullshit approaching. Yeah, I like that. Fight bullshit with bullshit. Oh, let me see. I don't know if I have any more rage for this. Let me just check the back room. Son of a... I'll give you a lowest point! Ah! Oh, you...
I love you too.
This actually hurts. There's nothing worse than this. This is character suicide.
You have finally connected with your spiritual self.
Oh, it hurts. Well, lucky me. I get to add this to the pile of female characters who have solved everything by luck and magic. I mean, there's gotta be an explanation as to why this keeps showing up, right? It's gotta be based off something. Like, that must be how women in real life solve things, accomplish anything. It's gotta be. They don't work hard, they don't earn things, they don't grow as people. No, it's all just magic and luck. That's how I do it. In fact, I think I hear the pixies at the door with my degree. Please excuse me.
When we hit our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change.
Can you imagine if Zuko went and cried on a cliff as his lowest point? And the spirits just showed up like, hey man, good job hitting your lowest point. That must have been really tough. Tell you what. Here's your honor, here's your throne, here's your mother, here's the avatar, here's all the other avatars, here's your self-respect, universal forgiveness for all your transgressions, some free lightning bending for you, wrap that myself, and how about a girlfriend just in case you want some options. Okay, bye. The lowest point is only half of an arc. It's not the end, it's half. And the whole point of the half point is that now the character's in a pit and they have to dig themselves out, which makes us, the audience, feel like they have earned something. That's the point of the lowest point.
I'm not the Avatar anymore.
Do you realize what an opportunity that was for Korra to learn something?
Mako, my bending.
To continue on without her beloved bending? To come into understanding of a role of being the Avatar with only her spirituality and airbending. To focus on serving the people as one of them. Almost. And I guess the creators didn't know if they were going to have a second season. That still does not excuse this ending. Give her the connection to Aang in the past Avatars and imply that she now has the real tools to serve as the arbiter of balance in the world. That way you have something to work with if you get a second season, and a hopeful ending with meaning if you don't. Because this is crap. The greatest thing we could do for Korra is grant her limitless pity parties, a whole basket of cool shit she never earned, and a boyfriend. And done. Female characters for assholes 101. So that's book 1. Dear sweet Jesus. I'd forgotten what a train wreck this is. It's such a shame because there's so many things about Korra I want to love. I love her design. It's just so cool. And she has so many traits that I would just love to see fleshed out. It just sucks. But on to book 2, I suppose. I was gonna get up and walk off camera. I suddenly lost the will to live.
Then he said, Minnie Schmidt, have I yet made a hit? And she answered him from where she said, I'd like to make a smash at you, and I'd like to call you my cuckoo.